It's still Top Gear. This is your one-stop shop where everything that has to do with cars we discuss. And as always, we discuss ranging from maintenance to purchase, anything generally about cars. And today, I'm not alone. As always, I've got my dependable partner. Tonight, should we say tonight?
This evening.
This evening. When you go to preach, we always assume
it's night.
Tonight.
Okay.
Even if it's in the morning time, we'll be like, tonight. But anyways, I have with me my one and only dependable partner, not in crime, this time around in success. And he's no other person but Mr. Odidi Oluwaseun. But I'll just allow him to introduce himself properly.
All right, good evening, listeners. Still remain Oluwaseun Odidi, your auto Top Gear number one listening commentators. How you doing?
Okay. And just in case you don't know, Odidi is a car dealer. And like I said the last time, if you want to buy a car, reach out to me. I'll reach out to him.
All kinds of cars. You want the CNG, you want the EV cars, you want the petrol gasoline car, reach out to our pair and let's see how it goes.
So don't worry, just come. We'll do justice to whatever you need. And we have a lady with us this evening. Let me allow her to introduce herself. Let me not introduce her. Let me allow her to introduce herself.
We are gender sensitive.
We're gender sensitive.
Good evening, listeners. My name is Onigiri Odinaka, and I'm also in the car industry. So we have varieties of cars. Just like you said earlier, if you want any car, you can reach out to him and he will reach out to us. And this evening we'll be discussing about car signs and everything you have to know just to keep your car in check and avoid unwanted emergencies.
Special for women, they hardly check jazz, bro.
I love the fact that she advised people. She just in 1 minute advised people to on things to look out for. Because women, whenever they drive, they just
start the car
and
get the car
boom,
moving,
and they just stop.
And once they hear noise, hello. D or
Daddy. Whatever they call their husband depends on their language. The Yorubas will be like dear.
Daddy,
the Igbo will be like daddy. And the Hausa will be like Alaji. But it's not good on the lighter note anyways. So today, just like Odinaka said, we are going to be talking about car signs, all right? The dashboard, generally. We're going to be talking about all the signs there. Those signs are not for designs. They are not just designs. They are not for beautification. They are there for reasons. And sometimes when you don't understand those signs, your cars, that is why, like the Honda cars, for example, people be like, when you see the Honda leg, pull out, people will be like, Honda again, Honda. And I told someone, I said, I have been privileged to use like 3 Hondas, and no point in time I had never experienced that. So a car would always give you that warning. Look, this is wrong with me. But because you're not sensitive, or maybe because you're not paying attention, you tend not to even care. And before you know it, that car breaks down, you begin to blame the car. So those signs, like I did say, they are not for just mere beautification. They are there for reasons. And that is why we are here to explain some of the reasons why those things are there. But before we even start, what are these signs?
Okay, good evening once again. When you call signs, they can be tagged as indicator, they can be tagged as a flash point, just to pass a certain information about a particular situation. Now, the red one could actually be a red indicator showing is something severe that needs much more attention. The yellow one could be a to-go plan saying that you need to pay attention to this. It's not bad, it's not worse, but try to pay attention. I think those are the two major lights, color lights on the dashboard that gives you signals. Yellow is for warning, and the red is you're at the point you need to really stop. Now, if we are to mention some of those things, now we have the check light, which is the general one. For every car you have to check, you find out that there's slightly check light. Now the check light,
is there a way we can describe this?
Yeah, the check light has an engine shape.
Okay.
Right? It shows a broken engine or a partial engine wrapped up in a yellow shape of an engine light. Now this is an indicator that there's something wrong in your engine. Now it could be just a hoy.
Okay.
So long it's still within the engine circumference, it means you need to check something around the engine. Also, we have the parking slash brake light.
Okay.
Now you have it on a round ball with a P on it. So it has to do with all that has to do with parking. Your brake pad, your handbrake, your master brake, and all of that. So those three compartments has to do with your brake line. So it's either you're needing to change your brake pad, or you need to put your oil on it, or you need to check your handbrake light. Now the other one is the yellow P. Now the yellow P has to do with slash ABS too. Now there's ABS on the dashboard too. Now this ABS has to do in partial connection with your brake.
Okay, that's the ABS
Automatic
has to do with
braking
your-
system.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now this is an automatic. It's different from your manual. Use your leg to match the brake. Your brake is flat, or use your handbrake. Your handbrake is flat. Now this is an automatic braking system that sends the message from your leg to the brain of the car. Now it gives a signal. There is a synchronize between the two parties. That's why if the ABS is not working, you find out your car is either not holding brake or is swerving abnormally. When you're running to a certain numbers, you see the car just start shaking, or when you try to match the brake, it swaps you to one side or the other. Now moving forward, you still have the temperature light. Now some is a light, some is a bar. Now you find out that your bar will move from 60, 80, 90, 100 or 120, depends on how the gauge looks like. Now this is an indicator showing that either there is water dryness in the radiator, or there's no water in the radiator, or there is a leakage. Anything could happen, but this is an indicator that says that you need to pay attention to your radiator, because that indicator is specifically designed for the radiator or the temperature of your car. Now it also guides you if your AC cooling system is working. Probably when your cooling system is bad, it means it's going to affect the radiator, and before you know, the engine is affected. So also we have what is the fuel gauge. Now this fuel gauge tells you how far or empty your fuel is. When it's on the empty side, you get the E warning saying yellow. They said that the fuel could stop you anytime, any soon. Some has a mile duration that can tell you how many miles you can still cover with the little fuel inside. These are still one or two indicators on the dashboard. All these are on the dashboard. Again, we have what we call the speedometer. Now the speedometer tells you how slow, how far, or how you have been moving from 20 to 50 to 100 to 150. And some dashboard or some programming has an indicator on the dashboard that tells you when you are above 100, it gives you a signal to slow down, or to ask you a question: are you in your normal senses, still driving forward? So it's just a caution to ensure that you're not sleep driving, or you're just driving wrongly. So to avoid such, all of those indicators are part of what is on the dashboard of a car. So these are few ones. So I don't know, maybe.
Okay, Odinaka, you want to add to that?
Well, he has said it all, actually. He has actually said it all.
Okay, so let's look at the importance of some of these signs. Let me start with Odinaka on that. Why is it important to pay attention to these signs?
It's actually very important, just like our bodies.
Okay.
Right? Sometimes your body might be giving you signs and you refuse to pay attention to it. Sometimes you might be feeling dizzy in the morning and you're like, maybe I didn't sleep well, and then you don't take proper check of your body. It also applies to vehicle as well. You use it daily, so you always have to pay attention to your dashboard. Whenever these signs come up, it's important to take accurate actions.
Okay.
Either visit your mechanic if these are things that you cannot fix. Just like ladies, we don't have the technical know-how to fix some of these things, so it's always important whenever you see any of these notifications, signals on your dashboard, it's very, very important to take it seriously. Else, the car will break down in the middle of nowhere, and I'm sure you don't want that.
Okay, Odinaka, but looking at, I felt maybe if you should notice such a thing, you should be able to just open the bonnet and check yourself. Well, after all, what a man can do.
A woman can do better.
No, not in this aspect.
They say, no, you guys say whatever.
No,
Whatever.
maybe we should target that in financial aspect. What a man can do small,
Okay,
a
man
woman
can
will
do
better.
Okay, maybe we should begin to.
I don't agree with that. What a man can do, a man can do. What a woman can do.
Okay.
Anyways, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, well, we have for those that are having issues on their cars, we'll be opening up a auto service center
Okay.
by weekend.
Okay.
You know, we are looking forward to giving a discount to everyone that comes around for that opening. It's gonna be a big location, no doubt, but it's a massive way whereby we want to encourage every individual or every Abuja occupant, whereby you can easily drive into a service center and you're getting a good diagnosis of your car and it's being done appropriately, that you have no reason to worry. You know? So by the time you do a proper check on your car, you find out that you spend less in maintaining your car rather than every time you visit the mechanic and all that, giving all you have worked for so far. So checking your car is very paramount, especially looking through the dashboard. Remember also, there are some wrong mechanics that mess up your dashboard that you don't get to see any of this information.
I was
or
coming
indicator.
there because I there are sometimes when you buy a car, some of these signs, they come with the car, and after some mechanics, must have touched these cars. Before you know it, some of these signs just disappear, and you begin to wonder, but why?
Well, it's just to hide some certain errors on the car, which the errors can really lead to.
Okay.
A bigger issue.
Okay.
Right. So, how do you check? Now you can look through the dashboard when you start the car, right? When you start the car, don't ignite it.
Okay.
But when you start it, it's expected that every information on the car comes up.
Okay.
Right now, if they don't, it means some of this light has been tampered with.
Okay.
Did you get the explanation?
Yeah.
When you get into your car, ignite it. No, I mean just have a first twist of the start
Okay.
before you see the fan rolling. So it means that first check, all light is expected to come up.
All the lights.
All the lights, all the indicators on the car, on the dashboard, are to tell you good morning on your screen. So the one that fails to shows up means that it's been manipulated somehow.
Okay.
So that way you can now request that they run a check properly for you. Maybe after running a proper diagnosis, you can actually get it right down.
Wow. Okay. All right, we'll just take a very quick break. When we come back, the conversation continues.
Do you want to know about cars? Everything about cars, from purchase to maintenance and even road use. Don't go too far. Listen to Top Gear on Eagles 102.3 FM every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Top Gear, let's give you a spin. Do you want to know about cars? Everything about cars, from purchase to maintenance and even road use. Don't go too far. Listen to Top Gear on Eagles 102.3 FM every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Top Gear, let's give you a spin.
Okay, still Top Gear right here on Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja. Honorable Apedi Great behind the MIC, and I have Odidi Oluwaseun, and of course I've got Odinaka right here as well. And tonight, or this evening rather, we're talking about signs, car signs, we are explaining in details what to understand, what to know about, the car signs. Don't just look at the dashboard and feel, wow, it's beautiful. Odidi, some of these cars, when you see the dashboard, it's so beautiful, and maybe some of these drivers might just get carried away.
Well,
not
the
minding.
essence of all the dashboard and the lights you see is to still bring about the beautification of the models and cars. You can't compare the taxi dashboard / private car drive. Is it possible?
Is that a stray bullet?
No, I just want to know. It tells you how many cars you've entered to tell us how the dashboard looks like. I'm sure you can never see an indicator light on most of the cab drivers.
Well, some of them want to even take off the indicator so that it doesn't give them high blood pressure. Seriously.
Imagine the one that has to put oil, top up the oil.
Uh-huh.
Imagine you being a passenger seeing those indicator
You
lights
get
showing
scared.
driver, stop me. Or the ones that has to still put water. Have you entered a cab that will tell you, "God, make a top up small water"?
It happens.
They do
It
overheat small,
happens.
so
It happens.
You've entered one.
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
Okay, how about the one that does not have brake?
Aha.
How do you
You
cope
know
with
that brake thing happened to me once, man. But then it's all good. Drivers, especially the taxi drivers, they take very unnecessary risk. I think one day we'll talk about the unnecessary risk that drivers do take, especially the taxi drivers. We'll just concentrate on the taxi drivers that day. But today, we're still talking about the signs. You were talking about when you turn on your
Engine.
ignition, your engine in the
Yes.
morning. So if some of these signs, if they are not showing, meaning something is wrong.
is being manipulated there because the manufacturer made it in a way that these are informations you will see, right, when anything goes wrong.
Okay.
So if you're not seeing them, it means you're not aware or you're not going to be aware of something. So for the engine light and everything, all sections that has to do with the car has an indicator light on the dashboard. Brake pad, it has an indicator P and all of that. Handbrake, it has its own P. ABS, temperature, cooling, and all that have its indicator light. Now, the essence of this dashboard light or indicator light truly is to help you minimize damage or control damage. The amount you spend or the minute you spend in topping water cannot be compared to amount you're going to spend when the radiator or the engine is burnt.
That is true.
When your engine is having a crack sound and all that, before then, there'll be an indicator showing that either your oil is short or something is wrong with the engine. It's going to save you a whole lot of trying to buy a new engine. If you're talking about the brake fluid, I've talked about the brake pad and all that, there's still an indicator there. If you're now talking about the light for the ABS, still in the category of that. Now, on still the indicator light, now we have you to see the odometers. How far has the car covered? How far are you covering? How far do you need to cover to service your car and put the car back to number? If we all do this diligently, I tell you, cost effectiveness or in managing the car will be less. And again, there are some that are not outrightly aware of what to do as at when and why they need to take some
it.
stuff.
Okay.
Rather, they are so dependent on their mechanic to always say, "Madam, bring the car," or "Oga, park the car." So to avoid this, you might actually visit our office because we're opening up a showroom at Maitama side, right, whereby cars, luxury cars especially, right, because we know you spend a lot of money to buy luxury cars, and it will be so painful and annoying that buying a luxury car you still end up visiting or having to go through this process of visiting mechanics. So visit us at Maitama office is around Anglican Church, Skywise. You've
All right,
got to
now,
see them.
okay. Very quickly, because of our time, for those who maybe they must have tampered with their, signs, what do you advise they do?
It's to rectify it.
some
Whatever
of
that
these
is been,
issues are rectified?
yes, it just has to do with funds because I know why they are dodging it because of the fund. If you are to change catalytics, you know how much a catalyst costs.
Yeah.
So because they don't want you to know about the catalyst, they block the catalyst section. So to you, you're only hearing sound, but you can't tell because there's not an indicator.
Could it be that some persons do these things intentionally?
Sometimes these are not intentional. These are just a way
Human
of
errors.
Yeah, some could be human error, but another one is sometimes it's just to save your head from too many others. Now you bought a car from US without catalyst. Haven't gotten here. You heard about how much it would cost you to buy a catalyst. Haven't gone through the process of Madam buy catalyst, Madam buy catalyst. If Madam is not ready to buy catalyst, you now helped her to just cover it
Cover the catalyst sign.
side, and she does not see the catalyst again on the dashboard. So it's just it's
I
based on
think like using the seat belt, I'm sure most people must have taken off that sign because before now, many cars in town, without seat belts, you'll be hearing
Signal, yeah.
bing. But nowadays,
You don't hear again.
You don't hear again.
because you can block it or silence the sound, so it does not